Hey guys, we're live. I'm live. I'm back in Bakersfield, guys. I'm no longer in the state of Iowa. And then you've got okay. Paul, read your text message from Jason.
Okay.
Jason, we're hope is going to still join us. He'll be from Omaha, and you got Paul there in Jacksonville. It doesn't sound like Jason's having a good morning, so we'll see how it goes when he gets here, if he gets here at all. So, Paul, let's talk about our sponsor today because she deserves to have a little top billing today.
She does. And so does her products, her Scentsy products. Ladies, gentlemen, peoples, look, Scentsy is really fine products, whether it's waxes that you melt to make your home smell good, cleaners, soaps, lotions, you name it. If you want to smell good, if you want your house to smell good, and we all want those things, right? You don't want to be that guy or that girl for that matter. And, you don't want to be embarrassed when people come over to your house and there's that funk, that odor. So, check out the link here at Terry's Scentsy page. Again, we've got it here. It's wax bars, it's cleaners, it's all kinds of great stuff. Stuff I guarantee you, if you're not buying it, somebody in your life is. And they may not be getting it from Scentsy, but they're getting it from Walmart. They're getting it from somewhere else. If you want to keep paying your money to Walmart, I think they have enough money. Check out Terry, check out her page, check out her products. We guarantee you're going to love them. So check out the link at tarek.scentsy.us.
Yes, and support a fellow Hawkeye fan who's a diehard Hawkeye fan.
That's right.
One screaming to get Spencer Petras off of the. So Paul, to the audience, real quick, we want to talk about Brian Ferentz and the things that he had to say, and I know that both Jason and Paul have some strong opinions that they want to go over later. So I'm not going to spoil it by saying anything yet. And so, Paul, let's just talk about this. We have a great bye week to sit in front of the TV and veg out for some college football games today, and so there's some good ones, even within our own Big Ten, that could shape the West this weekend. We could see a shaping of the West this weekend. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, if there was a week to maybe for Iowa not to have a football game, but to still be able to enjoy the sport, this is the week. I mean, this might be one of the best college football weekends or college football Saturdays that I can recall. It started last night with West Virginia and it was West Virginia and Baylor.
Yeah.
West Virginia and Baylor. I don't know. I had a brain fart there. That game ended 43-40. It's fantastic football game. I mean, this weekend, within the Big Ten, within the Big Ten West, there's going to be a lot of movement here. We've got a lot of Big Ten West head-to-head matchups, and then you've got the crossover with Wisconsin and Michigan State. I'm excited about the whole lineup, and I know we're going to do picks later, so I don't really want to give anything away too much now. But right. Man, I am super stoked. Almost that Iowa isn't playing this weekend because it's going to give me a chance maybe to watch some games that I otherwise wouldn't get to because I'm so focused on what's happening with the Hawkeyes.
Yeah. Well, Paul, I think you mentioned once that if Iowa wins their game on Saturday, you like to watch a few other games because you're kind of stoked. But you're kind of like me, like if Iowa loses the game, the TV goes off, don't watch much football the rest of the day.
That's yeah. And it seems like Iowa's been playing a lot of later games this year, 4:00 or night games.
Mm-hmm.
Have we had much noon kicks? I'm trying to think if we
did against Michigan.
That's right. Michigan was a noon, and was South Dakota State a noon?
Yeah, it was. And as will be, unfortunately, the Ohio State game. Why do Iowa's having a horrible year, and yet we're getting Fox's prime time spot. Their big noon kickoff. Why?
Okay, so we are the Big Ten West defending Big Ten West champs, right?
Right.
We have that. We have a history of coming up big in these spots, and that's about the best I can come up with right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Let me tell you this. We have a history of coming up big in these spots when we're at home and the game is at night.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can catch Ohio State a little sleepy. I don't know, but
I doubt we're going to catch them sleeping because, they have probably COVID year people on that team who remember going to the woodshed against Iowa.
Okay, so how about this? We just talked about how great the slate of games is this week.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the slate of games next week ain't so great. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really looked.
I haven't either. Yeah.
I
don't. For me personally, I don't mind Iowa having a 9:00 a.m. game my time in California. I love it. I love to get it done and over with, and if I want to go do something with the family the rest of the day, I've got the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But to put it at the big, Fox's big noon lineup, their big noon is supposed to be safe for the huge games like Ohio State and Michigan, maybe.
Well, I mean, here would have been some other options potentially. Kansas, Baylor. That is also a noon kick, but doesn't appear to have TV. Let's see.
Does the Big
Purdue, Wisconsin is a 3:30 game on ESPN. UCLA, Oregon. I mean that's out on the West Coast. They're not going to play at noon.
No.
Texas, Oklahoma State is on ABC. Northwestern Maryland is a 3:30 game. I think that just looking at this here, the next best game that they could have picked, we got Minnesota, Penn State, but ABC is taking that as their 8:00 primetime game.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So long story short of it, I think we just cracked the code here. As great of a week as this one is, it's kind of slim pickings next week. And Iowa, Ohio State, it probably is among the top-ish matchups to pick from. It really they got to fill that spot with somebody.
If Iowa had had any offense, we'd be undefeated right now. We would have still beat Michigan. Here comes Jason.
I tell you what, the hard part of this is going to be, right? We all know what being on Fox's big noon kickoff really means. It really means that we're going to have a 4.5 or 5 hour football game, which means that this is going to be a slow, painful death in the shoe. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't hide, on the Big Ten Network or, BTN Plus, right? No, we're going to be Fox Big Noon National 5 hour, 6,000 commercials broadcast.
Right. So, hey, Jason, welcome aboard. We were kind of stalling for time because we didn't really want to get into the meat of the show until you got here. So, I read your text. I hope you're able to do something today.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Okay.
My brain's just not working very well. What was I going to say? See, it's already started. I'm already turned into R2D2. So it's the Ohio State Iowa game is a big noon. Like it's
yes,
on
it is. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it'd be on BTN at 11.
Yeah, we were kind of bitching about how it got Fox's prime time spot.
Yeah. Why would that be the big noon game? Must not be any other games that day.
We just went through it.
Yeah, Paul just went
okay.
through it.
Yeah,
okay.
it's pretty slim pickings. We were just talking about how great this weekend is, and there's a lot of great matchups this weekend in and out of the Big Ten. Next week, not so much. And of the other better games, there a lot of them are in primetime slots. Minnesota Penn State is getting the ABC 8 o'clock national game.
Whoa. Interesting.
So
And if Penn State can knock off Michigan this week, that's going to be even that much bigger.
right.
Well, we'll talk about that in our picks later. I may have a surprise there for you or two. Let's get okay. I want to get into the meat of this because we ourselves, we've seen on all over the social media Brian Ferentz and the comments that he made on his press conference. Some people may be taking them the wrong way. Maybe they're taking them the right way. We don't know. Because, as you know, Brian Ferentz is learning Kirk Ferentz coach speak very well. And so we don't know what's coming up there. But we really want to do, even within our own group, our own little chat group, we had quite a discussion. And I thought it would make quite a discussion to have people hear what we got to say. But I kind of want to just say my piece first because I know that once you two get going, I'm out of it because I won't be able to get back in. So, my question is Brian really at fault for what's happening, or is he becoming the scapegoat? Is Kirk really, because now people are thinking by reading what all the stuff on social media that Kirk is maybe the real fall guy here, not Brian. He made a comment on how much he loves Iowa. He would never leave Iowa on his own. He wouldn't be able to look his family in the face when he went home if he quit working at Iowa.
No, that was during season.
Okay.
Like, that's quitting on him right now is what he was saying.
Oh, okay. All right. I understand.
Yeah,
I mistook that.
Yeah, not like leaving Iowa in general. I mean, obviously he loves Iowa. Heck, his whole life's been in Iowa City, right?
Right.
But he's more talk because they asked him if he would step down. Like right now. Some of the reporters are wanting him to step down right now. And he's like, I couldn't look my kids into the eyes or whatever he said, and he's right. I mean, why would you quit? I mean, that's not good for the soul to just quit something because you're struggling. That doesn't even make sense.
Right.
They don't have any play callers on the team. So you're not going to get any better right now.
Right.
So
yeah. So let's look this way. One of the things Chad Lessico asked him what the downside was of not making a switch now, and of course he came up and he said he's not making change just for the sake of change, and he asked him what the upside was. Okay, some people are taking the upside is that it's a slam at Alex Padilla. Okay, that Alex Padilla is not ready or not good enough, but I couldn't help but see this Tyler Kluver quote, and this makes me think, who knows Brian better than one of his former players who's actually played with Brian, or not played with Brian, but played on the team when Brian was coaching. Yeah. If you watch Brian's entire answer of the what's the downside question, I think it's pretty clear that you have nothing. It has nothing to do with Alex, and it was actually to figure out what Chad Lessico or other people were wondering, specifically believe that the upside is. What prompted the mobility topic? I guess that's because they asked about would it be better to bring in Alex, who's a little more mobile? Would it help the offense if we had a mobile quarterback in there? That allowed for a really great answer about offensive timing and why you don't want backyard football to be your primary approach. I'm not sure what he meant by that, but why would anyone come into the conclusion that you can take 5% of a full answer and draw your own conclusions about how Padilla? I didn't finish the rest of that. I lost it. Okay. Oh, there it is. About your own conclusions about how they hate Padilla. Plus, I'm sure that you'll see a few people comment on this. I'm just a Ferentz apologist and think they're almighty and can do no wrong. Point is, people are so frustrated and sad that they are creating their own depressive statements, I guess. Guys, I just want to ask you about that. Do you think there's some legitimacy to what Kluver has said? Kluver has said, because he's not the first one this week to come out and back the coaching staff. That's former players.
Jason, would you like to go first, or do you want me to go?
I can go. I was just the only thing that he said wrong was he said, "What's the down or what's the upside?" Right? He never should have said that. Regardless of how everybody wants to take it, that's the one thing that was wrong. But there was so many lies in that press conference anyway, which is what really made me mad. Because the boss is doing great things in practice. I know for a fact. He's completely lying about LaBosse not catching him when he is. There's coaches on the staff that want to see LaBosse, right?
Right.
But my personal opinion, you got to have Padilla have a shot before you have LaBosse. But after this weekend, after next weekend, I think it would be a good thing, because then the season's pretty much over or whatever. As far as, getting the Big Ten championship and all that, possibly. I guess the Big Ten West champion could have 3 losses, right? There could be like 3-4 teams tied with 3 losses. But if he continues to struggle, and yesterday I watched the South Dakota State game with some coaches, and I don't know if you guys saw my Twitter. But my Twitter was blowing up yesterday, and I recorded this one dude just kept lying about Iowa's offensive line. So we did video after video, and one guy said there was only 5 or 6 times where he had a clean pocket. Ooh, that was wrong. We did video after video of clean pocket for Petrus and missing a wide open receiver. And at the very end, the guy, after, I showed him, good Lord, I don't know how many I actually showed him. But this is just a South Dakota State game. That's what we watched, right? And I don't know how many, but he said, well, yeah, those could have been better throws. And then he didn't say another word. Like, the whole conversation just, stopped, as other people were involved as well, talking about how they knew that Petrus missed a lot of wide open receivers with a clean pocket. Yeah, he gets sacked because the line does screw up once in a while, right? I think he got sacked 5 times. But what do you do those other 20 times that you're dropping back to pass, right? He had a clean pocket so much. So I don't understand the Petrus love. For me, this is what I took, because Brian lied a lot in that press conference, from what people have been telling me. You guys already know, right?
Okay, but you mentioned it in our group chat. I want you, you don't have to divulge socials. We're not asking you to. But I want you to repeat some of the things that you're saying that there were lies about on there, so that the public can get an idea of what you're thinking that was lying about.
Well, it's not what I'm thinking. It's what I was told by,
Okay. Well, that's what I want you. That's what I want you to bring out.
And that's why I shared some of the insiders with you guys. I let you know that, because I knew if I said a lot about this presser, that people would be like, "Oh, what's your sources?" Right? So I shared them with you guys. I shared that somebody else has the same sources. Who's a
right.
But I didn't like.
And we understand that. Every time we ask you about it, we're never asking you to reveal sources, just to elaborate more on what you were told.
Right. Okay. But LaBosse is making Iowa's defense look silly, right? Now, is he doing it against the ones? Probably not. But he deserves a chance for more competition, right? I've told that he knows the playbook now. Like, he's pretty much he's got it down, and he's doing very well. And that's why I shared on Twitter that Illinois play. Porta was wide open. Petrus had a clean pocket. It was 3rd and 4. It would have been a 7, whatever. It was an out route. and Peters threw it at his feet with nobody around him.
We all saw that. I mean, that was pretty easy.
And then I actually thought I tweeted that at Brian. I put, why, oh, why would you start a quarterback when you know you have a quarterback that can make this throw in his sleep? I shared that to Brian. I thought Brian was going to block me, but he didn't.
Guess what? Brian has blocked me when I went after him one time several years ago. He wasn't offensive coordinator yet, though.
Oh, geez, that was a long time ago then.
Yeah, I know. I went after him about something else. Iowa related, but totally nothing about a game. And,
I'm told Padilla and Petrus are exactly the same. And this whole I'm only going from a coaching thing, a coaching spot, to where I wouldn't go past Padilla for the team, right? I'm hearing the boss is better than both, like right now. Like he's just getting to the point to where if he just got some game time experience, everybody would see it, which is why we're not going to see it, because the coaches don't want another Jake Christensen and Stanzi situation. Because once the fans see, something, it's going to be all over, just like at those times, remember?
Right.
The only time that we've had a quarterback controversy that I disagreed with was the Brad Banks, because he had to learn the playbook. But there was a Brad Banks package. Remember 2001? They still used him. The fans saw how good he was, right? So they were all calm for him, but he was a junior college transfer, so that was literally his first year on campus. You couldn't do everything. So that one made sense.
But that's also – but I got to say, too, that's the only time that they've actually built the offense around him, around their quarterback.
I don't know.
Now it doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who quarterbacks the team. Now you got to learn the playbook this way or not. Even if you can use your legs or something. Because before, Brad Banks was just, ever since then they come up with a different philosophy, and quarterback better adhere to the play calling and stuff, because they're not going to build one around you. And good teams adjust offense and defense to what kind of talent they have on their squad. Because if you can't always get the people you want to come in and play for you, then you take what you got for talent and you make some adjustments and put them in a position to win. It's just the way it is. Right.
But with Iowa, if you're right and they actually do that, then Petrus, this is what we decided yesterday also, is Petrus needs to be in the shotgun more. And he needs to not turn his back to the line of scrimmage. So many times with his bad throws is always like when he's doing a fake and his back is to the line of scrimmage, right? So they need to do some more. If they want to do play action, do it out of shotgun where he can still keep his head seeing things, right? Like that LaShawn touchdown against Illinois, the easy. 90% Division I quarterbacks make that throw. But because he knew from the play call that this guy would be coming in unblocked. They weren't going to block this guy, right? Because they wanted the tight end to keep the attention of the linebackers. And then nobody covered Williams. So in Petrus's mind, he should have said, okay, do the fake. Actually, I think he pump faked it. And then that was the South Dakota State game. Illinois game, he actually faked the handoff. And then just lob it so Williams can go get it, right? But he drills it. You can't drill a screen pass unless it's accurate, right? If you lob it, he can adjust and go wherever it is.
Right.
But no, there were so many things yesterday that Brian said that were – was it yesterday or day before?
Day before.
Tuesday, right? Or Wednesday.
It was Wednesday. It was Wednesday, yeah. Today's Friday. We're probably a little late to this game because – all the other podcasts have gone out there and already discussed it, but
whatever. I'm not.
But this is our take. This is our take, world. Take it.
But I know for a fact that a few of the things he was wrong on, that he's just hiding. But to say, I understand what Tyler Kluver's saying, right? I understand what he's saying, but the fact of the matter is he shouldn't have said, "What's the upside?" Right.
Right.
You should have just went in and said, well, this, Petrus knows everything. We know what we have. But he answered the downside question with, what's the upside?
Right.
I mean, that's
what set everybody off. That's what set everybody off.
I mean, I understand what Tyler's saying, and he's right in a way, but he shouldn't have said that, because that directly impacts Padilla, because they're telling him that, putting him in wouldn't change anything, right? Even though he hasn't had a chance to prove himself, and he's not worse than Petrus, they're equal. So why wouldn't you have two guys who are equal in practice kind of show their stuff on game day, right? But Padilla is not a mobile quarterback. Everybody says this. When he plays, he never picked up a first down running. In his mind, he's not a mobile quarterback, right? Just because he has the skills doesn't mean he's a mobile quarterback, because he doesn't know how to use it.
People think he was a mobile quarterback because he would roll out of the pocket to avoid the rush.
He really didn't do it that much, though. He was getting sacked just like Petrus. He never once took off and ran. He never once got a first down rolling out of the pocket and throwing it, right?
Right. Well,
he never once did that. In his mind, he's not a mobile quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I think what we found out is that Spencer is really the better quarterback of the two last year. People were screaming about it. So all of a sudden they decided, now we need to see Deuce Hogan. And then, of course, Deuce Hogan doesn't come around anymore. I mean, he's gone. And it just makes me wonder, Anyway, that being said, is the Joey LaBavis fans are going to be happy because he will be our number one quarterback next year, because Spencer's leaving at the end of the year, and so is Alex. Alex is not going to be here next year either.
I mean, that's all speculation, but yeah, that's what I believe.
Yeah, I believe it myself, because if you got your QB1 sputtering and things aren't going well, and your coach isn't giving QB2 the chance to prove himself, at least let me go out there and prove it. If I can't prove it, then I'll accept your decision. But not even getting him to see the field and getting an opportunity, I'd be out of there too, because I would have 2 years of eligibility left. I want to go play for somebody who's going to play me. Okay, so I said my piece there.
So you said you're talking about Padilla?
Yeah.
Yeah. He cares more about his education anyway than he does football. Oh, no, he does.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That he'll graduate in December, and then we'll see what he does. But it just depends on if he wants to go to not law school. I can't think of what the heck he's doing. But anyway.
So I want to point out a few things here. First of all, we won 10 games last year. Okay. So in case you didn't realize that, we did win 10 games last year.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's what I think happened with that question with Brian Ferentz and the upside downside. I think he was asking for clarification, right? So the question is, what would be the downside to blah, blah, blah? And I think he thought he heard. So I think he was saying, what's the upside? Is that what you're asking? Right? So
that could be. That's what Tyler Clover is saying. Clover.
I think he was just asking for clarification. Are you asking what's the downside or the upside? Like, I think he was just, I think that's what he was, that's how he was trying to, and then he went into what I thought was a very acceptable answer in that, look, as Coach Hack absolutely well knows, the offense is about timing. It's about, look, the coach's job is to win football games, and they're putting the best 11 guys that they believe are going to help them win on the field. Certainly, we'd like to have a few other options on the outside than we've had currently. I'd like to know, if Tyler Linderbaum had come back and, Ezra Miller didn't transfer and Justin Britt was healthy. We're missing, really 8 guys that should be, juniors or seniors right now up front. And I know that in the South Dakota State game, the offensive line did a better job than – it was not a good game from Spencer, right? It wasn't. And, he hasn't played extremely well. He hasn't played really good football at all. But look, the coaches are trying to put these guys in a position to win. And we believe Spencer gives us the best chance to win football games. So we're going to continue to trot Spencer out there. Spencer for Heisman, Spencer for president. Show up on November 8th, writing Spencer for president.
I mean, but you also got to think about Spencer's psyche as well. I mean, if it gets really bad where he's crying after every game, that's another thing.
Well, I think those were tears of joy because the game was over. Okay. He doesn't, he doesn't have that guy coming right across the line as the snap's going off anymore. Like he was just thankful. He's like, it's over. And now he has a bye week. And he won't get touched for the next 2 weeks, which means he's going to look like Joe Montana.
That's a true story. I mean, that's why he looks good in practice. I've never realized this. I don't know why. I've never known Kirk to be a practice guy like this. But maybe that's why he always goes through his quarterback issues when he has another one. Is that he doesn't believe in gamers. It's really strange to me that a coach don't believe in gamers, right? Or maybe he believes in gamers at every position except quarterback.
Well, you know what it is? It's like the wide receivers. If you don't block, you don't play. And we all know blocking is an integral part of the wide receiver position. Yeah. I mean, Randy Moss was an amazing blocker. I remember him coming across and just wailing on linebackers to help the New England Patriots running game with Tom Brady.
Right. So score 190 pounds of him.
Right. Yeah. And so what I think the issue here is our quarterback needs to do a better job of kicking the football. Because obviously Spencer's doing a great job kicking the ball in practice. It's very important that your quarterback remember how great Nate Stanley was at punting the football.
Oh yeah.
And I believe that this is the issue here is that Kirk thinks Spencer gives us the best chance on fourth and whatever to pooch punt. So that's why he's in the game.
Gotcha. He's muted.
It makes total sense now. I was going to draw a diagram with all the winding, all the interconnecting webs, but it was so complicated you guys would never understand.
Okay, Paul, when was the last time you saw Spencer pooch punch?
I don't think we ever have we?
We have not.
What you don't understand is he executes that in practice.
Right.
I mean, there's times where Torrey Taylor is a little unsure of his job.
Yeah. So you were like John Madden. You had all these,
right?
You're drawing all these lines everywhere. Drawing
correct. That's what's going. I have interconnected the thought process of Kirk and Brian Ferentz on how to make the offense work, and it is a tangled web we weave. But indeed, it all comes out in the end. 10 wins last year, guys. 10 wins.
And there could be 10 wins this year. They just got to win the rest of them.
Right. That's not off the table yet.
I guess technically they could have 11 wins still if they win the rest of them.
Right.
Because if they win the rest, obviously they'll have a Big Ten championship game too. So,
yeah. So how many of you guys saw that somebody, I think it was on Twitter or Facebook last night, compared the Chicago Bears offense to the Iowa's offense, except Bears had a better quarterback.
You can't
and the Redskins. Both of them.
What's that?
Both of them were compared to Iowa.
Oh, really?
I mean, look, you can't compare the two. At the end of the day here, we are run like an NFL team, but, we're not one. And, look, and by the way, I think I saw earlier that Spencer Petras is the number 46 QB prospect if he comes out this year. That puts him in the top 50 of eligible prospects. And look,
that's impressive.
there's worse things than being the 131st ranked offense, right? There's worse things than that. Like,
sure.
Well, there's worse things. Okay. You could be bad both at offense and defense. So there's that.
Oh yeah, you're right. There could be like that. But I feel like my Broncos are more like Iowa. They literally won a game like 11-9. I mean, they haven't barely scored 10 points all year.
This must be the year of no offense, huh?
It must be, because the NFL is full of teams just like Iowa.
My Jaguars this past week scored 6 points.
Right.
And they have Trevor Lawrence.
But did they win?
No.
Okay.
But they had games where they've scored 30, right?
True.
Yeah. If Iowa scores 30, man, everybody's going to look for the apocalypse to come.
Yeah. And by the way, and we've talked about this, but Iowa's 2 or 3 plays away from being 5-1 right now. If Terry Roberts doesn't slip against Iowa State, we don't fumble the ball at the goal line against Iowa State. Did we have the fumble that turned out wasn't a fumble, but it was super close against Illinois. If in the luck department right now, maybe we just exhausted it all last year. To get to 10 wins, we had a lot of things kind of go our way. This year, the things are going our way, but they're not. And I mean, we're a couple of weird, unlucky things happening away from being 5-1.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Last year, the luck is last year, Spencer didn't have any trouble sometimes getting a winning drive together, until we got to the Big Ten title game and the bowl game. And then Spencer forgot everything he learned in all the other games. But they had a chance to do some last minute drives. I think Nebraska was one of them. This year he couldn't put a last minute drive together if he had. Well, that's not true. They've attempted, but he just keeps throwing interceptions in the middle of it. So never mind. I don't know what I'm speaking of today. Never mind.
I just want Spencer to at least throw enough touchdowns this year to match Nate Stanley's sophomore season of touchdowns.
I'd like for him to just match his jersey number at this point.
Well, no, what I'm saying is he's thrown 21 in his career, where in 2.5 years, where Nate Stanley threw 26 in his sophomore year.
Right.
And people could talk about the talent, but Petras has wide open receivers. I mean, I can't. I'm not even gonna hear it. Oh, he had that ISM.
Yeah, when you're throwing it 10 feet over their head or throwing it at their feet, that's ridiculous.
Well, here's what you don't understand, right? So this is all part of the plan. When you throw it over his head or at his feet, you're putting the ball in a place where the defense can't get it. And all we're trying to do at this point is tee up Tory Taylor, right? We want to put our driver out there. Everybody wants to hit the big dog. We want to flip the field and change field position. That's way more important than putting points on the board. Okay. We are a complimentary football team.
Very much.
So I think you guys have some compliments to the Iowa offense.
Yeah. Everything I said in the preseason has backfired.
Correct. That's exactly what has happened here. All the things that we thought could go well have not.
Uh-uh.
But you know what? The thing is, we laid out, and specifically you more, but we laid out a pretty good blueprint of why the offense could be successful, because we thought they were going to be better on first and second down. We thought we were going to be more impactful in the running game, and outside of a couple of runs, it hasn't materialized.
Right. Yeah, it's aggravating after watching, the Illinois game again, and then watching South Dakota State yesterday. Iowa just leaves it's execution. And Brian's going to take all the heat, but it's execution. I mean, it's nuts. He was only sacked 5 times against South Dakota State, and there was like 15 plays where he had a clean pocket. So it's just, it was like 12. I think it was 12 plays where he had a clean pocket, and he didn't complete very many of them.
So what would be the upside of changing him out then? I just don't understand.
Especially since Padilla is equal. Like they're saying, all the coaches are saying those two quarterbacks are equal. So
they keep saying we believe in them. We believe we can win with both, but they're not giving their actions are saying something different than their words.
Right. But like I said, I think it comes down to they're afraid. Kind of like I said about Oklahoma last year with Caleb Williams. He was the highest graded quarterback I've ever evaluated. And I said once he hits the field, the reason why they wouldn't take out Spencer Rattler was because the coaches did not want Caleb to see the field because the fans would see, right? The moment, and then when Texas was up 21, they put Caleb Williams out there. They came back and won. So the fans saw Caleb, and then it was over for Spencer Rattler. It's a tough gig.
Wherever Rattler's is, I'm hearing he's having a rough season this year.
Yeah, it's rough to be the name Spencer and be a quarterback.
Yeah, I guess. And you know what? Some guys say that they're using TP, but that stripe in their underwear says otherwise. And fellas, if you've got a stripe in your drawers, what you need.
Oh my God. You are definitely, you need to be in marketing. You turn words into your thing, Paul.
How's Terry gonna be? How's she gonna feel about putting this with stripes in your drawers?
Well, fellas, look, you can't have that. You can't have your sock and underwear drawer smelling like funk, right? You can't have that funky. So Scentsy makes incredible products that you can use to keep things fresh. It starts with laundry soaps, detergents, the little beads that go in the dish or in the clothes washer, a dryer discs, so your clothes come out smelling fresh and clean. Then, like I said, there's air fresheners, room fresheners, drawer fresheners, so your clothes can keep smelling fresh, even if they are striped. So check out Terry's Scentsy page, and all the different scents for all the seasons and scents in your life.
Well said.
Good job. Well said.
Okay, let's go away a little bit from Brian.
We talked about enough stripes in your undies.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about our midseason grades for overall the team. Let's grade the offense. Let's grade the defense. Let's grade the special teams. Okay, so I'm grading the offense a solid C. Okay. I'm grading the defense a solid B+. Special teams get just a B.
Okay.
All right, that's where I'm at. Oh, overall the team gets a C.
Okay.
Honestly, I know I probably should grade the offense an F. And maybe I should.
They're your grades. They're your grades.
I'm just too nice. I want to know how you guys feel. Let's grade them up, guys.
I'm happy to go.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
That's one thing that he still hasn't learned, to tell which one of us to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to go in reverse order here. My special teams, I've got them as a B+.
Okay.
I think they've been very, very good, above average. We've got, we kind of finally settled on a kicker. Obviously, he missed the kick there at Illinois. But overall, I mean, they're getting a passing grade. Tory Taylor has been fantastic. Punt coverage has been very, very good. The only thing keeping them from an A is 2 missed field goals in crunch time for me.
Right.
So
Okay.
tough situation there against Iowa State too. So holding that into account. Defense, A+. Absolutely A+. I give them an A++. I mean, I really – there's not much more you can ask from the defense, in my opinion. You've held 5 of the 6 teams to under 10 points. You held Michigan to 20 for, 90% of the game. I mean, they've done all you can ask of the defense. A+.
Let's just say they did very well against Michigan. The 27th points are a result of a poor Iowa offense and field position for, who wouldn't take advantage of that field position? Oh, Iowa. They would kneel down. Anyway, go.
And then offense, like an F-, G, Z. I mean, whatever. I don't. How low can you go? I mean, they've been terrible. You get the ball at the 5-yard line and fail to score. I mean, it's not like fail to get a touchdown. Like fail to score. Like it's bad. It's bad on that side of the football. And I believe Brian when he says it's everything because I've watched. It's everything. So F-.
Okay.
Overall, right now, I mean, we're about to, head into the shoe, and it's a D+. I'm going to give it D+, because, and it would be an overall F, but the offense or the defense is so good that, I mean, we're holding on, but it's not good, fellas. It's not good. It's not good.
Okay.
I'll be quick because, I'll just start with the offense. They're an F. As much as I hate to say it, I mean, they're last. So they're 0, right? You get a 0 if you guys ever had those kind of grades where you get the numbers instead of the letters. They're So they're a 0. They're an F. The offense is just poopy.
That's it's not just a 0, but the teacher has drawn in a frowny face.
Yeah.
In the 0.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just tough to talk about Iowa offense, and it's tough to watch the games and just see how good they could be because of how wide open everything is, right? You're not going to get the running game open if you can't complete passes because teams are lining up, stop the run, say, hey, Petrus, hey, can you complete an 8-yard out? I mean, they're not covering receivers or coming to the line, just doing everything they can to stop Iowa from running the football. I mean, it's just silly. Special teams, I give them a B+. I'm with Paul on this. It's the missed field goals. And it's both of them because Stevens even missed one now. So both kickers.
And both in crunch time. That would have tied the game.
Yeah. So, special teams a B+. And then defense is an A. I can't give them an A+ because of that 99-yard drive that Iowa State did. But I can give them an A. They're doing really well, but they're not turning the ball over very much, right? Like they were. Like that's what Parker said. I agree with what Parker said. They're not nearly doing what they could be doing. Like, if you guys saw did you guys watch him? Probably not. Everybody watched Brian and then probably didn't watch any of the other coaches.
I didn't even get to finish Brian's. I watched. Everything kept interrupting. My wife wanted this. Somebody wanted this. Somebody else would call, and it's just like, dang, I'm never going to get through this.
Right. But yeah, so the defense, I'm with Parker, but I'll give him an A. The only thing that they could do is turn the ball over more, right? I mean, they have to with how bad our offense is if we want to win. So, but overall grade, I give them a C. So, just go like that. Like the offense is here, defense is here, special teams is here, but overall, I'll go there.
See,
right in the middle. C.
I appreciate Phil Parker trying to fall on the sword, but you know, and that's real leadership. Don't get me wrong, but no, I disagree wholeheartedly with all of this. The defense gave Iowa 3 turnovers against Illinois, 3 against Iowa State, plus the special teams blocked 2 punts. The defense came up with the only game that they didn't come up with a turnover was Michigan, and there was one close opportunity they couldn't get on the football. But outside of that, I mean, the defense is one of the best in the country in turning the football over. What more can you do? I mean, and by the way, we're trying to do this without 3 or 4 starters we've been missing. You know, we've been missing Roberts. We've been missing Yaya Black. We've been missing Justin Jacobs, is gone for the year. Harris. I mean, like,
did we turn them over in South Dakota State?
I don't believe we did.
And they only had 1 turnover in the Iowa State game, right? Or am I wrong? No,
I don't think we lost the turnover battle against South Dakota State. Didn't they get 2 safeties though?
Yep. Well, yeah.
Okay. So I mean, like,
that was because of the offense, though. They lined him up perfect on the half-yard line with a fumble. See, Williams fumbled it so we can get a safety. You see how that
works? Yeah. Let's give up the 7 for the 2.
So Williams had an assist in that. But Parker, if Brian had a little more Parker in him, the offense would be and it's only, I'm talking about attitude. Like Parker said, he expects perfection. When Cooper dropped that ball, he knew push-ups were coming. When I heard him say that, you didn't believe how happy I was. Why isn't the Iowa wide receivers doing push-ups? You don't hear anything like that. Why isn't Petrus over there doing push-ups? So, yeah, Parker just expects perfection, right? It's his style, and his players fall right into it, right? They expect perfection. Heck, was it Noah Shannon said if we didn't give up 100 yards rushing, we win this game or something? About the Illinois game. So, I mean, the defense just knows, it's because of Parker, right? Their leader, that they have to be perfect, regardless. If the score is 55-0, you got to keep that goose egg, right? Even when
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's really hard to know when the defense has done enough to win all the games, even the Michigan game, because we were there. The offense was not great, but we had opportunities, and those opportunities cost us a chance to be in the game. Who knows if we had a chance to tie the game at 20-20, you know, what Michigan did to get the 27th point, you know?
Well, right. I mean, they had all kinds of chances, right? The whole season, I think, like Paul said, they could easily be 5-1.
Right.
Right?
Easily. It just hurts to see that the defense is probably point-wise, they're not giving up as many points this year as they did last year, and yet we're not winning any games. I mean, well, as many games as we did last year. I shouldn't say any because we're 3-3, soon to be 3-4. But
the defense isn't giving up as many points, but they're not scoring as many points. Is that the problem?
That's the problem. They're not scoring the points this year.
Well, that's how they won. I mean, be real. That's how they won 10 games last year.
Yeah, I know it. I forgot about the scoop and scores and the pick sixes last year.
They still only had 9 touchdown passes last year, maybe 11.
Yeah, they didn't have much.
Padilla had 2, and Petrus had 9.
Yeah.
So they
You saw what happened in the final 2 games of the season when our defense didn't turn the ball over for us. Okay. All right. Let's move on. We got a few games we'd like to pick. This time I've got the sheet in place. I still think at this point Jason leads the way at 7-4 if I'm not mistaken. I'm behind him at 8-3, and I'm behind him at 7-4. And Paul, you're 5-6.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so we've each done 11 games total. So we're gonna start with Alabama at Tennessee. Who do you guys like, Paul?
I think everybody's kind of picking Tennessee here nationally. It's the hot possible upset. Roll Tide, baby. You know what? These guys, this is one of the reasons these guys go to Alabama. It's so when they get in these types of games. In fact, I could see this being a blowout for Alabama because this is how those guys think and how they play.
I'm going with Tennessee. I picked this game before the season started, and I have Tennessee. Tennessee's been my team for the year.
I like the pick. I could see where this is one of those things where you don't tell a bunch of 5-star elite guys, hey, you're an underdog, or hey, you're on upset alert.
Yeah. I actually picked Tennessee too. Are they in the same division or are they in opposite?
They're an opposite. Tennessee's
they're an opposite. Yeah, you're right.
So they could actually meet for the title game again.
They could, but Georgia's in the East too.
That's true.
Tennessee's not going to beat Georgia, in my opinion.
Okay. All right, we got Penn State at Michigan. I picked Penn State, guys.
Alabama's favored by 7.
Okay.
They are favored by 7, but it is a popular upset pick.
Well, I'm sure. You had me there for a second. I was like, wait a minute, are they favored? So I had to go look. What'd you say, Paul? I mean, Dean?
Okay, Penn State at Michigan. I took Penn State.
Yeah, I'm going Penn State.
Give me Big Blue at home. Big Blue in the big house with the big blue car.
Okay.
And the big blue something.
Okay. Minnesota at Illinois. Originally, I would have picked Minnesota, but Illinois is showing me something I didn't expect to see this year. I figured they were a year or two away from what they're showing me this year, so I took Illinois in this game.
You got it, Paul? Or I got Illinois too.
I was just going to look real quick to see when is this game being played?
At night, right?
Is it at night?
At Illinois.
No, it's 11. It's 11 o'clock game.
It's a nooner.
Yeah, it's
at Illinois.
A nooner at Illinois. Minnesota. They're coming off a loss.
They had a bye week, didn't they?
I don't think they did. I think Purdue just beat them just last week. So, I'll roll with the Golden Gophers here. Why not? If Abraham is healthy, I like Minnesota here. I still think Illinois is a year away.
If Abraham is, if he's healthy, yeah, that's a good pick.
Well, so far, Jason and I agree 100%, and Paul, you have disagreed on every pick so far.
There's a reason I'm in last place here, fellas.
Last week you went with us. That's unfortunate that you might have got almost every one of them right, because remember last week you were picking with us.
Yeah, because I don't remember all of our picks, but I do know I lost something like 3 or 4 games last week for sure. Okay, Kansas at Oklahoma. Go ahead, Jason. You get the first one.
Oh, Kansas. With their backup quarterback, I'm still going with Kansas.
Okay. Martinez hurt?
Backup.
No, Martinez plays for Kansas State. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna say.
I'll take Oklahoma at home.
And I actually took Kansas as well.
Yeah. Here's the thing. So Oklahoma just got embarrassed by Texas, right, in the Red River Shootout. I'm hoping that they turn things around, but we'll see.
Well, here's the problem. Oklahoma's not ranked anymore.
Right.
They're not even a top 25 team. Hey.
Well, they're 3-3.
Yeah. We shouldn't feel so bad being 3-3. We got a blue blood football team 3-3 with us.
And we haven't gotten our butts handed to us yet like that.
Ours might be coming. Weeks. Oklahoma did back-to-back weeks.
All right, you know what? I changed my pick. Give me Kansas. Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk, KU.
I was going to say that.
So are you going Kansas now?
I'm going Kansas.
Okay.
Going Kansas. Bill Self. Let's score some points.
Bill Self.
Bill Self. You got that mixed up with basketball.
That's your quarterback. You've been talking about Kansas quarterback for a while.
I know. I thought you said he was hurt.
He is. He's hurt. He's not going to play.
Okay. All right, we got USC at Utah. I took USC.
Yeah, I got USC.
Paul?
Utes?
No. That's what USC does.
Oh.
Okay, so he's finally going with us on a pick. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Nebraska at Purdue. Honestly, guys, Nebraska's starting to show some life, so I took Nebraska in this game. At the beginning of the season, I would have taken Purdue hands down.
I got Nebraska too. I got Nebraska winning 31-28.
Well, the game's in Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette. This is where Cornhuskers go to die. Give me Purdue. Give me the Iowa wide receiver core against that Nebraska secondary.
They're starting to realize that the Iowa receiving core is not that good. Yeah. Have you noticed lately?
Yeah, but they have a secret weapon. They have a Hayden. Okay.
No. Yeah. No, I mean, Tracy's fumbling, dropping passes. They can't get the ball to Charlie because he can't run routes, like I've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a very good route runner. And now they're adjusted Charlie. The only way Charlie can get open is by running crisp routes because they've adjusted to him, right? They know he's their guy. Well,
what happens is O'Connell's finding the other receivers finally. Okay. Finally, we got Wisconsin and Michigan at Michigan State. This is kind of the game of the after runs. Neither one of these are probably going to win their division. However, Wisconsin did bounce back and look pretty solid last week. So, who you got? Paul.
Give me the Badgers.
I think this is going to be an ugly game. I'm going to go just with Michigan State for fun because we need Wisconsin to lose another one, right?
Right.
The West is going to come down to everybody losing. It's just going to be because I think that game is a toss-up, and I just think it's going to be a bad game, like just crappy. So I'm just going to go with Michigan State just to hope they can win.
Doesn't it feel like a game that needs to be played at like 38 degrees and driving freezing rain? Like it just needs to in the mud. Like this needs to be played on a field with mud. Like it just feels ugly. It feels dirty.
Yeah, it really does.
Dang. I also had originally picked Michigan State in this game, but since you and I are 100% in agreement, this does not give me any opportunity to catch you. If no matter what happens this week, I'll still remain one game behind Jason. And if we both blow up our picks, Paul, you'll probably take the lead and run away with it.
Welcome to the dark side.
So I'm going to State too.
Yes, but just for the heck of it, I'm going to pick Wisconsin. So either
Dean might be onto something here.
I'm going to pick Wisconsin just so that in case Wisconsin does win, I can at least tie you in the standings.
Right.
And if I'm wrong, I lose another game to you.
That's right.
Now you
one step closer.
Of the dark side.
All right. I don't have anything else, guys. Do you got anything you guys? I mean, we're at a little over an hour and.
No, I'm good.
Jason made it through. We're proud of you, Jason. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Go the distance.
Go the distance. I'm trying.
All right. All right, guys. We'll come up with some kind of a fun topic for Monday.
Okay.
Game week. And then it'll be game week. We'll talk about some of our picks, how they came out, some of those games. But I want to come up with a real fun topic that's just kind of like real fun. I was inspired by the Hawk. Is it the Hawk Nest that Adam runs?
Yeah, Nebraska's Hawk Nest.
Yeah, I don't think I'll come up with the same fun topic he came up with off week topic that he did, but we'll come up with something that'd be fun and just totally off game.
Yeah, he runs a really good podcast.
He does. I'm going to get a hold of him and see what we can do to kind of make ours a little better.
Yeah, he told me to tell you to do that. So
yeah, and he also told me he sent me a message and told me personally. So I will do that.
Okay.
Cool. I just can't have the hype, kid. Darn it.
No, that's theirs.
I know it is. It is.
We could do all the other stuff though.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys over the weekend.
Yep.
Bye, Terry.
Bye.
Bye, Terry.